Kitco News special coverage of the AIBC Summit is brought to you by Coin Payments. Crypto payments made easy.
Is the bottom near for cryptocurrencies? Well, our next guest seems to think so. He runs a very interesting algorithm-based trading bot fund, and we're here to talk about it. Not just what's in his fund, how it operates, but what's next for Bitcoin and the other altcoins. Welcome to the show, Daniele Bernardi. He is a CTO of Digital Wealth.
Thank you very much.
Daniele, it's your first time on Kitco. It's a pleasure to have you here. And we talked a little bit about offline about your views on the cryptocurrency markets. Now, you told me that your own personal views are not always aligned with the algorithm that you use to trade, which is fine. I mean, it's a computer. We'll talk about exactly how that works. And it's had a great performance so far, from what you've shown me. But tell me about your personal views right now. Where is the market headed for cryptocurrencies?
So we, in our research team, we have developed three different models to forecast the Bitcoin price in the long run. And we discovered that the Bitcoin is extremely repetitive in the circle, based on basically the halving that every more or less 4 years happen. And that cut the reward for the miners. So basically, we analyze a lot because we are quant, all the data related on, and we discover a huge pattern in this movement. For example, the trader can remember the October-November 2018, when the market lost the 60% and was the last one losses that moved the Bitcoin price to the bottom and then started to recover from this point till November 2021. So, accordingly to our research, nowadays our bear market that we are living now is the 20-25 days longer than the previous two that we had. So I don't know if we are exactly in the bottom, but I suppose that we are close to.
And you're basing this off of the prior bear cycles.
We base exactly because we define that is really a pattern that is...
Why are you making the assumption, Daniele, that all bear markets will behave similarly?
Well, because it's more behavioral than technical.
Okay.
And our study is about numbers, but in the numbers you can find the behavior of the person, no? And when an asset like Bitcoin has difficult to find a fair value price, of course for the people is most related to the emotion. So if they are fear, they sell. If they are engaged, they think that they can grow, they start to purchase and so on. No? So is a concatenation of events that can be can move the market down, and even after one point of time return to be positive and return to engage more person and so on. We discover in our research that we publish in Cointelegraph that basically the Bitcoin price in the long term is guided by the demand. Okay. And till the user adoption is growing, even in this period, the new wallet are every week growing, the new wallet that own Bitcoin. That means that in the long run, the Bitcoin will continue to have a grow, even with a great volatility, because we know that nowadays the volatility of Bitcoin is almost 75% annually. So we suppose that it will be another pattern that will repeat again till the halving, and then after more or less 400 days after the halving, you know?
Yes, I was going to ask you about that. The next Bitcoin halving should be 2024, I believe.
Yes, April 2024.
Yeah, March or
More
April.
or less, yes.
Right, more or less. In the past 6 months after the halving, Bitcoin has gone up. This here, I'm going to present my view, and then you can challenge me if you like. It's too easy if you just look at the past halving and say it's going to go up. It's gone up in the past, and so I'm just going to buy 6 months before halving, make money.
Yes, but most of the people doesn't know.
Okay.
Only the people that has experienced at least one circle can understand it.
Okay.
I understood it because I was preparing a paper to present to a quant conference in 2020, and making a lot of research, we understood this kind of pattern. No? It's not clearly to everyone, of course. Of course, can be changed, but is mathematic. You know, if you cut the halving to the 50%, you increase the scarcity of the new Bitcoin every day in the market. You know, so if the demand remains stable, just this is enough to push the price up. You know.
Okay, I want to get your Bitcoin price outlook for the bottom and the top in just a minute. But I want to ask you, you've studied behavioral finance a little bit, right?
Yes, yes.
Please tell me why. This might be a very basic question for you, but why do cycles repeat? Why do patterns repeat?
Because of human behavior. You mean we experience two kind of strong emotion, no? The fear and the avidity. You know, when you want it more and more, you purchase. You don't look at the price. You know, and when you have fear, you sell at any price. No, so of course there is market resistance, and I was surprised honestly by the resistance of the market. When happened the FTX problem 2 weeks ago, you know, because I was supposing that the price can drop more than what have done, and so of course there is behavior of the retail person, that the trader that was scared or go to leverage and was cutting off that by the market for the margin call. But there are people that know better the market, maybe has sell at 40, 50,000 last year, and are waiting. And then when they saw the price of Bitcoin at 15,000, 16,000, they start to purchase again. And this rebounds the Bitcoin price, and the Bitcoin price stay at this level. That is good, because it means that under some certain level, the person started to purchase it again.
So, mean reversion means that prices go either up or down to a historical average, depending on the time frame. Does mean reversion happen all the time for all assets, Daniela?
No, of course not.
Okay.
Of course not, but in case of Bitcoin, is more predictable just because of the scarcity. You know, I made a paper. You can find a paper in SSRN or in Cointelegraph, the article, where I describe with a power law function. The power law is a non-logarithmic regression. And with the power function that fit very well the growth of the new user, new wallet that are in the market. And this describes incredibly well the growth of the Bitcoin.
Fibonacci sequence. You're talking about Fibonacci sequence.
No, not Fibonacci sequence. I have a token that the name is Phi token.
Phi token. Okay. I misheard you. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
So I love mathematics.
Okay,
Fibonacci, I love it.
Yeah.
It's Italian one.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, from your country. We can talk about Fibonacci later. Okay, no.
It's not that. It's not that. But if you see, I can make an example. If you purchase a fund the fund is composed, the NAV of the fund is composed by number of share and the price of this share. No? So you have the capitalization. The same happen with Bitcoin. No? The capitalization Bitcoin is number of Bitcoin for the price, no? But can be calculated as number of wallet for the average of amount of US dollar that the wallet has. Is the same to calculate the capitalization. So in this equation, if the number of wallet increase, you know, also, and the Bitcoin remains scarce, you cannot print how many Bitcoin you want. The price, of course, is pushing up, you know. That is very interesting. Is also intuitive. And with this kind of forecast, you can understand that this pattern can repeat again.
Okay. Interesting. So let's talk about your Bitcoin price forecast. You said that we're near bottom, not quite yet. What is a appropriate level, appropriate support level for you? We'll talk about that first.
Yes, this is worst loser situation,
Okay.
because any prediction that you make, of course, is wrong. So,
Okay. But you might be right. We don't know. We're here to get your opinion.
Now, I suppose that it's difficult that will go down 40,500 for a lot of time.
4,500.
14,000
14,500.
as bottom, but can go, but I suppose for a few days.
Okay. There's been very strong resistance around 17,000.
Yes, in fact, the rebound. Yes. In fact, but I suppose that next year can be returned to grow, eventually return to between 25 to 30, 32,000. Next year, yes.
Okay.
Could be realistic.
That is still more than 50% down from its previous all-time high of 69,000, right?
Yes, but it's even before the halving.
Oh, okay.
So it's good.
Do you think that Bitcoin can ever retrace the all-time high?
No, of course it will do, but the question is when.
Okay, yeah. Some people I've talked to said the NASDAQ will not make new all-time highs for 10 years.
Yes.
And they said this because in 2001, that's what happened, right? After 2001, the crash, remember the dot-com crash, stayed flat for more than 10 years, actually, before it recovered to its 2000 level. Mm-hmm. And I ask this because Bitcoin has been closely correlated with the NASDAQ up until a few months ago. So if you were to assume that the stock, I'm not saying you have to make this assumption, but if you were to assume the stock market will stay flat, could you not also assume Bitcoin will stay flat if they're too correlated?
The correlation is just in this period, because historical correlation is quite zero between stock market and Bitcoin. Just in this month is the same, but because happened that in the same time they hit the all-time high at the end of last year, and of course the people go to sell it, and more the people are selling, more the people sell, and so it's correlated for this reason. But almost all the asset this year is correlated, you know.
Okay, yes.
And but I tell you a story. We create a quantitative model since 2002 in equity, you know. And the time frame that we use in equity market is weekly basis. So we every Saturday when the market are closed, we run the mathematical model and we decide in or out for the next week. You know, for the crypto we needed to do, and it worked very well. Without no one optimization, just to reduce from 5 days to 1 day. No, so the frequency for have a good time frame in trend following strategies like we do. So we follow the strategy most of the time. Is 1 day. No, so we split by 5, from 5 to 1, and is this happen even in the how much quickly is the crypto respect the Nasdaq, you know? So the volatility of Bitcoin is almost 6 times more. Nowadays a little bit less, but 6 times more than Standard & Poor's, for example. So, of course, can, and 5 more or less than Nasdaq. So, of course, can take 5 times more time to. And I wrote in LinkedIn a very nice time to recover forecasting for any asset class, equity, bond, and so on. And is quite nice to see that in the crypto asset, the time to recover is almost 3 to 4 times less, shorter than equity, and 10 times shorter than bond, you know. So maybe if you have only a balanced portfolio, it's better to introduce a bit. A balanced portfolio, if you introduce the 5% of crypto, you cut you divide by 2 the recovery period of the forecast, you know? So you recover in half time. It's incredible, huh? Just with the 5%.
Now, let's talk about your algorithm here that you use to trade, and you've had a successful performance so far since launch, and we'll show the chart.
Yes.
How have you done this?
Just apply, at the beginning, just applying, as you tell you, the model that we use in equity to crypto, cutting by 5 times the frequency. Then, and we tried with our money. And then we decided to launch our first hedge fund. It's a Cayman fund that has almost 3 years and is performing quite well, but principally is protecting very well. Of course, this year is losing, but it's better to lose the 25% respect to lose the 70%, you know. And this, but this is only for high net wealthy people, because the minimum amount to invest is 100,000 euro, you know. So we decide to democratize our model to let the people use our quantitative model even in their own exchange account, just connecting the API to our software, you know. So the challenge that we wanted to do, just because the blockchain technology and so on is open source, is more democratic, you know, give access to all the people, we decided to not reserve this strategy just for the people that can invest in the hedge fund, but to allow all the people that want, even with 100 euro, you know, to use our algorithm that, of course, cancel the behavioral problem, reduce the behavioral problem, and is able to provide a better risk-related return to the investor.
I know you can't talk about your proprietary variables, but just give us one of the technical variables that you put in to this algorithm, 1 or 2.
So we have developed a diamond ratio indicator that is proprietary.
What ratio, sorry?
Diamond ratio. Diamond is my first company that work in quantitative finance. And you can find, it's free, you can find in SSRN, was published by Wilmot, and is a very good indicator. But we discovered that if you use 5 different quantitative indicators that are in a sort of collaboration way, are deciding every day if invest or not in any single crypto asset, you reduce a lot the fake signal, you know, because that is the principal problem of the trend following strategy. Of course, you cannot cancel and have a perfect model, but you can have a better, definitely better performing model.
Perfect. All right. Well, Scott, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your predictions. We'll see if you're right or wrong, but either way, I appreciate your thoughts. Thank you for watching Kitco News. I'm David Lin. Stay tuned for more, and don't forget to subscribe.
Kitco News special coverage of the AIBC Summit is brought to you by Coin Payments. Crypto payments made easy.